much for this opportunity. I am so proud to be an alum of this college. In fact, there are many of us in this arena today. If you are a graduate of Pellissippi State under any of our names, State Technical Institute at Knoxville, Pellissippi State Technical Community College, or Pellissippi State Community College, I want to ask you to stand where you are. Stand for just a moment. Well, there's a bunch of us here. We need some kind of secret handshake or something. Graduates, look around you. In just a short while, you will join this number. All of us who are Pellissippi alum have the opportunity to spread the message to other youth and adults that great beginnings happen here. Our personal examples of success shows that Pellissippi State is a first-class, first-choice institution, not a last resort. Thank you, Dr. Wise, for this invitation. Dr. Wise is on our board at Project Grad, and I was meeting with him a few months ago about creating a couple of college student opportunities with Grad when he said, there's a second thing I want to talk with you about today. I want you to be our commencement speaker. Have you ever had that moment when there's this delay in what your ear just heard and what your mind just processed? I was listening and nodding, and I thought, well, wait, he just said he wanted me to speak at Pellissippi's commencement at Thompson Bowling Arena. And it took me a moment to regain my composure, because this is an incredible, humbling blessing. I am honored to stand before all of you in all of this, because at the beginning of the path that led to this day, I never would have imagined this moment. A chain of choices led to this moment. And choice is what I want to talk with you about for just a few minutes. I've titled my remarks, The Turbulent Choice. The Turbulent Choice. And here's the point of everything I'm about to say summed up in one sentence. So if you only write one note, if you only tweet one thing, if you only put one thing in your phone notepad, write this. Be at peace with your choice, or make a new choice. Be at peace with your choice, or make a new choice. I'm going to ask the graduates to repeat that after me. Be at peace with your choice, or make a new choice. I was in Philadelphia last week for a National Cities United meeting during the day of the Philadelphia protest and rally. It was publicized in the national news that the march was about to turn violent. Not so. It was an incredible and peaceful demonstration. The protesters were of all ages, genders, and ethnicities. The mayor and police chief protected the marchers as citizens who had the First Amendment right to peaceful protest. But they also made it clear they were ready for anything else that popped off too. An important fact that Philadelphia local news reported that the mainstream did not report was that the officers were required to read for themselves the First Amendment in advance of the protest, so they would be mindful that the people had the right to assemble and to speak. Peaceful protest is a choice. On my flight into Philadelphia, I was dozing and awakened to turbulence. I wasn't alarmed by that. I've flown several times. Took a minute to get my wits about me and to discern which direction we were going. You see, when you fly, turbulence occurs when you change altitude. Turbulence occurs when you are both ascending or going up, or descending and moving down. Remember that as the representation of a good life lesson. When you experience turbulence in your life, check your direction. Are you going up or are you going down? And if a regrettable choice is causing the turbulence and you have no peace, make a new choice. I shared with Dr. Wise when we met that I can still, in my mind, see the face of the high school teacher who looked at me with disgust when she found out I was going to be a teen mom and said to me, "You were a smart girl, but now you'll never be anything." Those words hurt, but I chose not to believe her. And as an adult, I made the choice to forgive her. And I've been married to that high school daughter's daddy 37 years now, and we have a precious, wonderful 11-year-old granddaughter. And I admit that I intentionally chose to think about that high school moment last November when I moved into the role of Chief Executive Officer and Executive Director. Listen, don't waste your time with unforgiveness. It just makes you bitter and eats you up. You know what unforgiveness is like? Unforgiveness is like you drinking rat poison, then waiting for the rat to die. Might be time to consider making a different choice. Be at peace with your choice or make a new choice. Life is going to present to you a series of choices to be made as life moves on. Many of you have had to overcome some things to get to this point of graduation. I know what that's like. I have an amazing life, but I have not always been who I am. I worked on my degrees as a working, non-traditional adult student with a husband, 2 kids, and a full-time job. And my personal life story includes dealing with family alcoholism, the early deaths of my parents, my husband's work-ending spinal injury when he was only 29, 5 years into our marriage. We dealt with several surgeries, having to fight for workers' comp and Social Security, and the pressure nearly ended our marriage. But we survived all that and life moved on. And then in 1991, the lowest moment of my life happened when we tragically lost our second daughter, Sparkle, just a few months before her 13th birthday to adolescent suicide. I was working at Pellissippi during the time of Sparkle's death, and I will be forever grateful for the way my coworkers loved and supported me through that time. Even surviving breast cancer 20 years later didn't compare to the pain of losing my child. What do you do when your life falls apart? In all of those moments I just described, I had to make some tough new choices. I chose to continue to trust that God is sovereign and has a purpose for everything He allows into my life. I chose to continue to hope and to love. I chose to continue to live and not just survive, and there is a difference. And I have lived long enough to know that both time and energy are precious and limited. So pay attention to how you spend both time and energy. Every day is a gift. Don't use all your time fighting. Don't use all your energy fighting. Reserve some to create. Now, I know some people in here are squirming by now and wondering, why is this CEO standing up there telling all her business? There's a reason for my transparency. There's a reason I chose to share with you what I call my other resume, and we all have one. I want you to remember that no matter what happens to you, you always have the power to choose. Be at peace with your choice or make a new choice. What do you reach for in your lowest moment? Some reach for alcohol, some reach for drugs, I reach for my faith. Someone once asked me, what is my greatest business asset? And I told them my greatest asset, period, is my faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, don't get nervous. I didn't come to preach to you. You have to make your own choice with regards to spiritual peace, but just be sure that what you put your trust in can sustain you and give you peace in your lowest moments. I also share my story because I want to encourage you to own all of who you are and choose to be a principled leader. Leading from core values will serve you well as you make hard choices. This is important because you must know that no matter what you do, somebody's not going to like it. And no matter what you do, somebody's going to tell you that's the wrong thing to do. So you must own your own choices and lead according to your principles. Be at peace with your choice or make a new choice. Choice demands action. What will you do different to be different? Finally, you must know that you are more than what you've been through or what you may be going through this very moment. You must know that low moments will pass and life will move on. This is not the end of your story. There is so much more for you. There is greatness in you, and I expect greatness from you. Remember, you always have the ability to choose. Be at peace with your choice or make a new choice. Thank you and congratulations.